Oh.
Okay, so we're back. I finished. I hope you have too, and are ready for the next part. So what you're going to need is some fall color crayons. I chose greens, yellows, and oranges, and I have a variety of them here, so you're going to want to grab those. I wouldn't recommend that you get too silly or crazy and put in blues and purples. The whole point is to do a fall leaf, so it's really important to stick to fall colors. Sometimes with art, you kind of have some limitations put on you, but it's how creative can you be with the limitations that you have. So this is a little bit of limiting here, but I think I'm going to show you some really interesting things you can do with it. So I'm going to start with a light color. I bet you didn't know that you can actually mix crayon colors, similar to what I did over here with this project, which actually has pastels. And I bet you didn't know that you can mix these. If you follow a certain formula, I'm going to show you that now. So you start with your lightest color. I'm going to pick this yellow-orange because that's what happens to be one of my favorite yellows. And I'm going to color lightly. I'm not going to press too darkly, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you're going to go down the whole thing. This is one of my colored spaces, and fill it in. Okay. So it's light. I've got some white spaces showing, and that's important. And I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to pick up some orange, and I'm going to figure out where I want my orange, and I want it a little bit down here, not much. I don't want a whole lot in this part. So once I get my orange right on top of it, now I'm going to take my yellow, and I'm going to start going back over it. So you can see I can kind of put the two colors together. And there's a mixing project. There's other things I can show you can do with crayons too that you don't need pastels for, and it gives it that same look, which is really cool. There are actually some artists out there who use only crayons in their artwork, which I think is amazing because I would never have thought to have done that. You can also use single colors. Here's a green. This is a lighter green to fill in. And if you're just using a single color like I am here, make sure you press darkly. If you leave any white spaces, it doesn't look as nice as if you fill the whole thing in. So this is sort of my goal here, is to make it look close to my pastels as possible. If your teacher does happen to have pastels, by all means, go ahead and use those because that makes your project awesome. All right, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go with the oranges this time. And again, this is my lighter orange. So I'm going to start by really coloring lightly with it first because I want to be able to mix that red-orange into it. So I don't want it to be too dark in case I want to change it. You can always go darker. You can't go lighter. So think about that as you're coloring. You want to make sure that, it'd be really a shame if you had to start over at this stage of the project. It really gets to be a bummer when you have to start all the way over from scratch. And you would if you didn't like what you had done and couldn't think of a way to fix it. So that's another reason why I don't recommend that students talk when they work because it's too easy to make a mistake, and then everyone gets bummed out because it's a project you spent some time on, and here we are throwing it out. Okay, I'm blowing off any stray pieces of crayon that happen to fall on my paper. I don't want them to smudge later. Okay, so that's basically how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video and let you continue to work. Just remember, if you're going to mix, start out light with the lightest color, add the darkest on top, and then go back over the whole thing with the lighter color to blend it in. All right, you can go ahead and keep working. When you're ready, come back and turn the video on and we'll continue. Okay, see you in a bit.